Wait for this 5 minute candle to close, and then we'll start with an update of what the plan is for today. It's looking like it's rejecting this. Okay. Strong little close above that 5 minute candle, but basically our chart today, our plan today is going to be a little bit on the more patient side. Not trying to be aggressive, obviously, for a few different reasons. We just had CPI news at 8:30, so we can expect some volume to be into the market now. It did push up in more of a positive way, and it kind of held, hasn't really dumped. So we'll see. Excuse me, but also talks about war, bombing Iran and stuff. And then the other thing is that you can see here on the 4 hour on ES yesterday, the 4 hour closed below that, and then reversed back up. But you can see here where NQ did not. So that is a big, strong divergence, especially being on the 4 hour. But we usually don't see the reversal until we come back down into this here. So I can kind of see a push up for some drops. I don't know what the sentiment is going to be. So in other words, that's what the risk parameters are for. Maybe in that case, to protect ourselves, we lean on the side of taking the play on ES. Gives us more room, and we fade any NQ calls or shorts today. So it's definitely something we're going to keep in mind. We're going to focus on the risk to be more risk adverse, risk manager. So those are the things that I'm thinking. I think that's the plan today. Is to watch for calls and puts. I mean, ideally though, I'm looking for calls down here as a reversal down here. Because if you really think about it, we set a lower low, lower high, lower low. We need to set a higher low. I'm sorry, lower high again on the 4 hour, and then we drop and we can follow through here. But typically we would come down here and set a higher low. We could set a higher low, and that's enough information to get out. Think about this as the 5 minute time frame that we usually like to see, and we see it come down and sweep. We want to see this sweep below here and then close back up, and that'd be the divergence to go back up higher. So in other words, we don't know right now, so a lot of in the air. So like I said, I think if that's the case, then we need to fade those areas, those plays. So we'll just see how it goes. We're gonna take a shot at some calls here. Um, just I'm talking to my little recording here. mm-hmm. um. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I usually don't do the trend lines or anything. I just like with my system, I kind of have to take the plays sometimes, especially in these areas, because like you said, that's the trend. But then it's also like I said, I see it's more beneficial for me to catch that risk to reward for that breakout. So like even if I have to take the stop here, I'm completely cool with that. I have to be, but. Do that body there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, this first play right here is going to tell me a lot about what we want to do today. If we see some flips and running and all that, like if the calls seem to struggle real bad, but my how I'm gonna skew it, my plan to skew it today is by um is only taking them on ES because then I'll give myself that better risk to reward in that sense of like I'll have a bigger stop loss, you know. So I can't tell. Why does it do this? See, I hate when it does that crap. It throws me off. Hey, like you said, that's the best way to do it. Yep. Instead of just sitting there. Mm-hmm. No space up here. Okay. Let me put my little markers on here for myself. Is that what he said he's shooting for? I saw what he posted, but I didn't read it. Nice. My TP is at 74.1150, so I'm gonna watch that up there then. I think if this depending on how this and we just hit 1 hour. Is that really 1 hour high low? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is a yeah, but that's an older level. We did not older, but we just did that yesterday. So we came through it, came up to test it. We did close above it. So now there's a stronger chance of going through it, but we'll see. I need to mark out my orb too. Forgot about that. That's probably what we're testing as well right now. So let's see here. But I mean, honestly, at this point, it's just mm, mm, yeah, exactly. That's always the request. Hmm. Oof. Yes, pulling back hard. Stop loss is a little bit bigger than normal. But I'm okay with that bit of risk there. Um, yeah, there's some calls. I was just talking to my video. Just I didn't make a note of that, but I moved it down to the body of this that 5 minute candle to the left that we're trying to go through. Mainly just because when I entered, and I would have had a better stop loss if I would have entered that first little, but I was a little hesitant. I used the word hesitant, but I wasn't really hesitant. It's just I had to give it a little bit of extra space, but I like it down to that body. That's just gonna be the most secure, even though I'm pushing up a little bit higher on it'd be a little bit of a bigger loss, but it won't be anything crazy, like an extra $50, $60. So on 200, I'm not too mad at that. And then if this flips, this will tell me a lot about the day. I'm not, because if I fade these calls, these plays, that's my thing. Is like what my edge. If I don't, not that I have to always catch the first one, there will be other plays. It's just if I fade these first ones like this, these are the ones that typically, like if it wanted to run right now and go, now everybody's starting to get in. They would be in after me, and that is more beneficial for my risk to reward. But if this goes against me, then I'll find a little spot where I can kind of go, and I think it'll be going down, especially with this 30-minute candle. I'm gonna be watching for it. If we close above this lower high, to me that'd be a lot more conviction. But in a way, I could have waited for that 30-minute candle to close. But like I said, it doesn't. When the other day, if I would have waited, it the 5 minute candle before the 30-minute close is when it tested it and then it ran up and then it never came back to test me. So it's like you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. So I just be trying to make the best educated decision. So it is what it is if it stops me. You know. hmm So I'm gonna watch this on the 30-minute instead of sitting here. hmm You feeling better though today? Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. Ricardo wanted to take shorts at 410. Okay. I didn't. I thought. I guess maybe because I was thinking calls and I was loaded up my calls. I thought you said. I thought I heard you say he was going to take some. He was in calls and that his plan was working out. Hmm. And Q, she closed back on the 5 minute above her 30-minute thing. Interesting. I could actually probably come in a little bit more on this stop loss now that that candle is closed. If she comes back down below that, she definitely wants to drop. I think I'll do that to take some risk off. I'll wait to see if we get a push up. think this might be a little aggressive, but I think I'm gonna come in some with the stop loss. Uh, Maybe not. I mean, you're talking like 2 ticks. Hell, it's not that serious. That's the structure. Leave it. If it hits 1.5 R, then we move it in. That's the rule. Oh no! I took it on ES. I told myself at pre-market that I'm like when I was starting my journal that was the plan. I need to. That is how I'll protect myself today a little bit better is to fade on NQ, just because even though she don't seem to have any crazy, I didn't even line up the candles to see how she to see the body size of these candles. Let me see. Oh yeah, no, she's way too big. She's way too big. Yeah, I just told myself I'm gonna fade those plays on that just because it'll give me a better risk to reward, you know, instead of trying to. Hmm. What do you mean? Hmm. 73.90 was the low yesterday. Let me see. I didn't even click on that part. You said you probably did. I'm honestly waiting for this 10 o'clock candle too. It's looking like she wants to reject this here. I don't want to barely close above it. Girl, push on up there and do the thing. All right, that was a 30-minute close above the lower high. So let's see if she rejects it. If she dumps here, then that'll be a liquidity sweep. Just need a little closure out of this orb. And so she might teeter through here back and forth, back and forth. So I'm gonna definitely leave my stop where it is. This is where I think I'm gonna just not watch it for another 5-10 minutes. And then yeah, bro. Medicinal. No, I'm still eating a little breakfast. Hmm. I actually need to stretch. I used to, at one point, I was doing some good stretching, like getting into a trade. Hmm. 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 That might as well, yeah. Honestly, I don't really do them that much to know, like straight through in one session. You mean like without stopping? I would say I could do. I would say I probably do like I could probably push on a good 35, 30 to 35, and Then by that second time, I don't know. I'll probably like fade out around that. hmm Yeah, but push-ups are one of those things that's like you have to stay on. Like I can bench press a lot, but if I go to do push-ups, it's not the same thing. And I can like if I go a long time without doing them, then I'm back down to like if you challenged me, I could push through and do 30. But if it was like, all right, let me just get down here and do, I'll probably get to 25 and be like, I could probably stop right now. And then it's just so it's like, yep. hmm Yep, exactly. Oh yeah. Yep. Pull ups are like me, like I can probably only go do like 5 pull ups right now. Pull ups are not my strong suit. hmm I'm 225 ish. So, you know. hmm Yeah, like right lately, I've been swapping over to more mobility stuff because, like, I've been feeling stuff hurt a little bit more. So my back and my legs and all that stuff. I tore my Achilles a few years back, and so that's been adding even more stress on my whole chain, my leg and all that stuff. So I've been trying to do more mobility. So I don't even bench press a lot anymore. I just be like, okay, time to, let's do some leg stuff. Let's do some more squats. Hmm. That was an interesting push. Yeah. This This is a 5 minute. Let me see this 5 minute here. I don't want to sit here and babysit it, but I do want to see a 5 minute close above the orb. But NQ hasn't done it yet. NQ seems like she's like chilling behind, which is interesting. All week long, she's been leading. hmm Yeah. Yeah. hmm. I'm wondering if I should come to the bottom of that 30-minute candle. Yeah. They got a little bit of divergence right now between the two of them. NQ ES just closed above the orb. NQ didn't. But I mean, I wouldn't call it's divergence technically, but I wouldn't say that's like the strongest. Like a key level of the 1 hour or something like that would be stronger. I'm gonna just leave it if I take the L on it because I can feel myself kind of being like, I just get out right here and because it's not acting like how she normally would, but I don't usually do that. I usually respect the play. My stop loss is what I control. It's at the body. If anything, I'll bring my stop loss into the bottom of this 30-minute candle. And if she flips, but then that she could sweep that and then go right back up. And I'll take a full loss, but yeah, I'll just leave her. And then the fact that she's still holding up here still it is the other day we did a close above that 1 hour and then it flipped right back around like nobody business and dumped straight down. Oh, stretch my back here. What's that? Oh yeah, still be doing it. It's been a minute since I've run a fire, but we um we get vehicle accidents a lot. That's the main time we usually suit up. I'm a lieutenant, so I'm still on the truck. But the when you come off the truck is usually by the time you get to like a captain or a for sure battalion chief. Like most battalion chiefs don't go inside of fires; they just run the scene from outside. So but no, still doing it. I think I just hit 15. I'm 36. I think. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, yeah. I'm still in the. That's still young too, but I know what you mean. Yeah, I still got some. I think 53. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I mean. Like I'm already at a point of feeling stuff in the back, and so I'm like, oh man, I can't imagine 10 years from now. I need to start getting better about this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, crazy. Mm-hmm. No, I haven't. I usually the chiropractor told me that he diagnosed me with a bulging disc. He was like, yeah, just the issues that you're having, but yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I forgot you were in the cells. I needed to tap up a little bit higher. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. I've had it where it hurts like to get out of bed and it feels numb, like the sciatica stuff. But I've never had it like I wouldn't say it was that bad that it was stuck, but I've had it where it was like hard to bend over and put my socks on, and I'm like, damn, this hurts. And that was how he kind of been diagnosed. And like I played soccer with the little guy on the beach, and we were just juggling the ball, wasn't anything crazy. And literally, I sit down after 20 minutes of that, and I was like, it was hard to get out the chair. And that night, I couldn't like bend. If I stood up straight and walked, it went away. But if I bent, like sat down in a position or laid down and curled up, if I was there too long, it was crushing pain. And I was like, what is this throb? And I thought it was my hamstring. It felt like I pulled my hamstring. So then that was on vacation. So we get back home, and I go to the chiropractor the next day. He's like, "Oh yeah, you gotta bulge this." He's like, "You'd have been here 4 times for 4 different reasons that all lead to that lower back." And he was like, and then they go away when you stretch or you do this. And so he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna diagnose you with a bulging disc." And I was like, "Damn." So, but he didn't do an MRI or anything like that. He just gave me some exercises to do, and because those exercises relieved it, he was like, just keep doing those. And so now I'm at a point where I honestly need to just up my mobility and probably even take a break from like lifting heavy, just up my mobility in the sense of like strengthening those things. So like the Jefferson curl and doing actual lower back stuff. But yeah, that's what I need to do. Yeah. Hmm. Oh yeah. No, you didn't tell me that. Yeah, that definitely not good. Hmm. Oh yeah, damn. Just out trying to look like Casanova and you hurt your back. That's the worst. Yeah, that's just true. Mm. Hmm. Uh, hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Ring a ling a ding. All right, I'm moving her in to break even. Yeah, at that point, that's the rule right there. Actually, I'm gonna come right below that. Hmm. Should I do break even or should I do right below that body? I feel a little bit aggressive, not aggressive, but let me give it a. No, we're opposite of each other. I'm I'm long though. He was like, I got into some calls and he's like, all right, I'm gonna get into these shorts. I was like, oh, here we go. One of us is going. No, yeah, I, yeah, I don't like how she's grinding to do it, but damn, I'm technically by law supposed to be at break even right now, but I don't know. Mhm. She stopped me out. It's all good, girl. I'll take that. How much was that? I'll take that. Yeah, it was $40. I didn't go to break even, but I'm not mad at that. That was the best chance I can give her. So, be right back. Yeah, that's how it bees. I don't think I would take another. I don't know. I don't know if I'll take another stab at the calls here. Just because we're doing this thing where technically we closed above it, we retested it, we didn't close above this. I don't know. So I think I give it a little bit of time. She might want to. She might just need a little bit of extra time to break through these areas. So, but if she's not trying to close above this, like this was the 30-minute lower high, yeah. So and she closed above hers too. So if they can't close above this wicks, then I don't want to. You know, I don't want it. But we'll see. So GG's on that one. Go ahead and I'm gonna record that in the journal. Just a quick check-in. It feels like we're trying to dump here. We're gonna wait for this 1 hour candle to close. That's what we're really gonna go with. In this 30 minute at the same time. Seeing some shorts here. That's what I'm thinking. It still could be early, but we'll see. Oh shit. Yeah, she looking like she's weak. I think if anything at the bottom of this orb is when we would be best to take it. Even if we get some type of retest here. I mean, this is here too, so I don't know. But that's a failure. Liquidity sweep. That's what that looks like. I mean, we just had this yesterday. Or whatever it was that we ran all of that. So we'll keep an eye on it. We're gonna see, especially if this closes below this here. What is that? Untouched weekly low. This untouched weekly low might be, but this is also where it could want to form another higher low. So I think if we definitely wait for that 5 minute close under here, that's probably our best bet. Let's go to the 30 minute because any little bit of a wait or close below this, so we keep an eye on it. We're gonna be patient with it. We'll see. All right, we're following the rules. We took that because she swept it and came back down. That key level, that untouched weekly low was the 30 minute low. Well, not 30 minute low, but it was a previous 30 minute mark area. We already struggled to get above it. So right now we're gonna watch, and if anything, we just need to make it down to this higher low here at the bottom of orb, and that'll be our break even mark. We managed that first play pretty well, so we're not really down today. If we take a loss on this, we just make the decision to either walk away or we got one more in the chamber. It'll probably be leaning towards a walk away. We'll see. You need me? Mm-hmm. If I take a loss on this one, I would not be mad at it. I asked the magic question. Well, I still respect myself if I took that. I did good waiting for that 5 minute candle. I remember at one point that thing used to have me in a chokehold waiting for a 5 minute candle. It felt like it was the end of the world. I'd be like, but what if it could just leave without me, and then I don't, and now I'll be like, oh well. Oh well. I'd be like, go on then, girl. So that's That's the perk of that. They're getting better at that part. Getting tired of taking them just because they do a flip, and then it's like, to me, that's like the worst slap in the face. At least it was when I was doing it. I would get into it as soon as it flipped, and then it would just go against me, or it'll even go my way, and I'd be like, oh yeah, and then the end of that candle starts to flip and go back the other way. And I'm like, wait, what? And it just felt like the worst slap in the face. And eventually, I was like, I gotta wait for these 5 minute candle closes. Like, wait for the 5 minute, let the retest happen, and on the retest, sometimes I take it sooner than that. But if she pushes through on the retest super hard, I'll be like, you know what? Let's just give it a 5 minute candle. Maybe she'll give it to us, maybe not. And like that was a massive little indecision candle right there. That's kind of crazy for her to do that. But she came back below it, so we'll see. It's a good sign we just closed below the body of that wick, or that wick to the left. So we'll see how, if she wants to follow through. A few more ticks and I come to break even. I'll do it too soon. Oh, the NQ's picking some speed up. Oof. It's been a minute since I kind of want to split this order up and sell part here and then trail two. Wait, where did my okay? I'm gonna say, where did my buy stop go? Hmm. All right, let's see if we get a little 5 minute closure on here. Did NQ do it yet? Nope. This could be where it wants to do a little divergence and bounce back up. I would not be mad at them both pushing through now. All right, we got the stop loss set moved in. If she sweeps and reverses here, we had nothing to do with that. I just meant she wanted to go up. We already hit our 2R, so we had to come in the price. If she only gives us a 1R, that's just the way it is. We got we got all four of our orders right there. I think we're good. All right. Yeah, NQ, they're both kind of diverging a little bit. I'm surprised they didn't just flush. If they were going to drop, I would imagine they would have flushed through it. But NQ was kind of holding back. This is. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what I was afraid of, that it was gonna come down here, but I'm trying to work those thoughts out of my head. Like it was gonna come down here and stall, and I'm gonna be hesitant to get in. But sometimes that's how it is. I just don't want to see an instant run up after this. All right, they both close under orb. I'm not moving my stop in until we maybe come back up and then go down. I'll bring two of them to 1.5. There go two of them right there. Two. Okay. Give me a little push down further, and then I'm going straight to the. She's acting like she wants to come back. So yeah, I was in short up top up there at 73.49 when she did that weird candle where I said I was gonna wait for the 5 minute and it closed below. I took the shorts there. I just sold half of my position. I technically should have sold the whole thing, but it's all good. It's been a minute since I split a play up like this. See if she gives it to me. I won't make it a habit. It's just she looked like she wanted to go down and get more. Hands off. She'll probably stop me out on this next if she don't start dropping. What's this 3 minute candles doing? The 3 minute was closed down there. She gave me another low. And Q looks like she's pushing down. Took me out. I'll take that though. I got a full 3R on that one. I split the four contracts up. I tried to play the game, and she still took me out at 3R. I'm not mad at that. I should have just took it from the beginning. That would have been done. Not mad at that at all. Um, I still think it's about to come back up here and test that orb though. I don't see any crazy volume coming in because she did break that structure. Mm-hmm. Because if not, the only real liquidity she got is below that lower low on the 30-minute, which is 73.0525. So to just run up here, I mean, you can't say she can't do that, but sellers just showed at the bottom of orb that was a higher low it broke under. It showed that it wanted to change that character, or that it did. So if they hold it there to test the orb, that'll be a sign they want to go all the way down. Mm-hmm. Yep. All of them, literally. So technically, I think that was the set. That was the set of the because the way we dillied and dallied up there, that 1 hour sweeping was the set of the lower high. We swept up. So unless we get back above that, that'll be the lower high in the next the next 3 hours. We'll know for sure, but so we'll know tomorrow, and that'll be our range. And so how I do my divergence is the other way is if I don't catch the bottom, I'll catch it at these 1 hour lower highs. So like if we come back down to the lows of today, like the lows that we got below us that we did yesterday, and then we don't close below it, but overnight we sweep and we run back up in the morning tomorrow, I'll take that 1 hour lower high that's up there that we just formed. I'll take that as my breakout to the upside because we will. To me, that means we would have held this whole area. And that's usually my other little A plus. All right, let me get my little picture real quick from my journal. Oh yeah, she's pushing back up now. Not a lot of volume though. I don't know. I've been enjoying taking these shorts. I'm not gonna lie. I missed them. I'm not gonna lie, boy. These shorts, they be going. Hmm. They say they say shorts and calls don't move the same in the market because that's greed versus fear. So when we in calls and it's going up, you see a little bit more resistance in the going up most days, most times on calls overall because people get a little bit of greed. People getting a little bit of greed, and it's like they're taking a little bit of profit off. You know, they're pulling back and they're doing these things. But when it's fear, though, that's what drives the shorts. That's why they say statistically shorts like dump. You know, they seem to move better, so I don't know. That's what they say, but I just feel like I can see the shorts better. I don't know. I don't know if that's coming from a scarcity mindset, but damn, she pushed all the way back in there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's what it feels like. I was like, hmm. But I'm like, I'm looking at my journal and like for the last few weeks, it's like 80% calls. Like I see random shorts in there, but that's because the market was just going up. So I'm proud. Hmm. What's up? Oh, so the bottom of that was the demand zone you had. Mm. Hmm. Well, yeah, especially if they move together and kind of sync. But like if you look, because like you can like on a 30 minute, there's a whole demand zone right there on ES. That green or mono green, but the green candle over there, like that's right below that low though, that lower low. So like this would be that area for sure that it would bounce. So I don't know. Hmm. I don't know if this candle forms a doji. I kind of still see shorts though. Uh, Yeah, yeah. Especially with the if that 30-minute candle right there closes below the body in the wick, I can still see it being. I would just hate. But I'm not taking nothing else. I'm gonna paper trade it if anything, or put it up on my screen. I already got my 3R. I gotta stop right there because that was already. Yeah, I took shorts right after you got off. When it. All right. Yeah, he's like, look at this. Mm-hmm. GG's brother. No, none of them are. Mm-hmm. So yeah. That is not a doji candle, by the way. Push it up. Let me see. She tested the bottom of the orb, didn't she? Lowest 35.25. 35, yeah. She looked like she went back and tested the bottom of the orb and trying to push up now. See, this is one of them be like, but it could be going up. It could go down. Gotta fade it. Yeah, that's crazy. But this reaction in this zone is is telling me that that divergence that I'm seeing on the 4 hour is probably like it's kind of I'm taking notes of like this is kind of like leaning me into okay somewhere from a down here we're gonna go up. I would prefer for it to happen overnight. I don't want to come tomorrow and have to see it shorting and being sweeps below, and then now I gotta decide if I want to take it or not. I'd rather just already have shown structure, so we come in tomorrow and I just look for that 1 hour high.